I can very easily see why people would be stressed out living in these times. First of all, not being able to trust government, departments of government, being afraid of police officers, FBI, politicians, the decisions that politicians make, and then the decisions that um, the consequences of the decisions that the politicians make in our own personal lives. Before here's the first call. Before COVID, people were very stressed out. People were working hard and doing everything they could, at least good. Well, let me be honest. Every person tries to give it their best shot. Every person. And everybody confronts obstructions, interference. And for some people, the disappointment of things not working out the way we want them to work out can result in gangs, drugs, violence, murder, rape. And we all started from the same point, but we all didn't receive the same kind of love, understanding, guidance. There's a lot of parents who just don't know how to be parents. There's a lot of ugly parents. They have an ugly nature, and their children suffer because of their ugly nature. And those children carry that with them. If you don't like yourself, if you call yourself an ugly person, if you think you're a bad person, if you think that you deserve to be um, abused by life, all that comes from, what kind of a relationship you had with your parents, if there even were any parents. But we're in charge because our thoughts lead to our emotions. Now, we can be repressing emotions, trying to hide from things that we feel. Sometimes life is so overwhelming that we want to mentally return to a point in time where all we had to do was play with our dolls in our beds and hide from reality. So there's a lot of things that are contributing. And lately, yeah, I'm starting to realize that all those people that we don't, all those black life, all those black life don't matter, angry people, violent people, they're not fighting for something politically good. They're not making a positive contribution to life. They have hate, they have animosity. But that hate and animosity comes from their life experience, their disappointment. They wanted things, and life kept getting in the way. Life kept being an obstruction. And failures can lead us to depression or fear. And when we feel attacked, some of us get defensive. Well, all of us get defensive, but that defensive uh, coping mechanism can be to avoid life, to withdraw from life. For some people, it's to attack. And sometimes, in some people, the sense of being under attack, under the gun, that you're about to be harmed, leads to derangement, losing touch with reality. You become an angry animal. You no longer see straight. You have no respect for humanity. Uh, and you're willing to harm anybody who you believe is going to harm you, but you believe everybody wants to harm you. And this dynamics, from the violent, aggressive personalities to the people living in perpetual fear, leading to depression or people with depression, that was already there before COVID, before the government decided to label us as useless. as unessential. And then you throw on top of that the um, the stress of money. People needed to pay their bills. I have not stopped. I can't believe that it's 2 years into COVID. I mean, literally a year and a half, but this is the second year of COVID. This is the second year of government messing around with people's lives, with people's dreams, ambitions. And that's going to lead to stress. That's going to lead to serious mental health issues. The government is causing a lot of pain and suffering, a lot of hurt in people. But we can always be our best friend. We have to put things in perspective. That's the whole key. Yes, things are difficult, things are challenging, but we don't need to hate. And we don't need to transfer the focus to something we have no control over. We have control over our thoughts. We have control over our ability to plan. We will feel in control when we make a plan. We may have, I'm doing something I don't want to do, as old as I am, and having struggled as much as I have struggled in life. There are good people in this world. And I am of the philosophy that we don't have to, regardless of circumstances, we don't have to hurt, or we don't have to torture ourselves, or we don't have to be under serious, uh, the consequences of serious mental health complications. We can have joy, we can have peace, we can have love. We just have to organize our thoughts, be realistic, healthy. Be realistic in a healthy way. Understand what are your challenges. And in those challenges, what is it that you can do? See, that's why you formulate a plan. And then you start feeling in control. And there's going to be challenges even in the plan, but you work through them. The number one perspective is, are you healthy? Or are you healthy enough that you can cope with life? You may have aches and pains, you may have challenges, but uh, are you still fit enough to where you can do what you want to do? In the businesses that I go into, I see a lot of people my age or older who are still out there hustling for a paycheck. It may be because they want the money, and they want to travel, and they want to buy things, and they want to have a life that they want. Who wouldn't want to be home in bed eating Cheetos and watching Bugs Bunny? you know but it's a matter of perspective. We harm ourselves with the negative. If we're going around saying my life sucks, or we're going around saying I'm a horrible human being, or I hate myself, we're harming ourselves. Now, if we are a bad person, if we are a drug dealer, if we are a murderer, a rapist, if we do harm children, if we're not a good parent, if we're a bad parent, if we're an abusive parent, then we definitely need to get in touch with that. But if you're hating yourself because life has disappointed you, that's not right. You're here. Whatever that disappointment was, you can make the best of your life right now, today. You can laugh with good friends. You can enjoy the company of family. You can receive the enrichment from the emotional enrichment from having a pet and caring for a pet. And yeah, for some odd reason, those goofy faces, can make us feel loved. And I always admonish people. I'm not talking about la la la, Smurfland happiness, but this is something you can do for yourself realistically. You don't have to be in your car. It's stressful being in my car. There's a lot of people out there who just want to kill somebody by the way they're driving. So it is very stressful to earn a living on the road. But I don't have to be, negative. I don't have to let them affect me. I can enjoy the music on the radio or whatever entertainment that I brought with myself. I can understand that I'm accomplishing my goals. To accomplish goals, you got to set objectives. You just can't give up. You just can't say it doesn't matter. I've tried, and everything goes wrong. When the things of life, you know, health is having fun, and having fun even in the darkest days. That may be a strange concept, but we should have a balanced perspective that yes, this is bad, but I need to put it in a healthy perspective. And for if you're a person, if you're a good person who wants to change a difference in your life, you can make that difference with your thoughts. And it's one of those things that you know it starts with you. It starts with you being kind to yourself. It starts with you organizing your life. There is fear of fear. You become afraid of the panic. You don't want to look at your life because it has been so traumatic that your first response is panic. You start to fear the fear you have over dealing with your life because your life has been a disappointment. So you're afraid of the fear that you have of not looking at your life. You're tired of looking at it. It's caused you too much pain. It has hurt you too much. And you lock yourself in that trauma and you don't want to get past those two fears. The fear of looking at a disappointing life and then the fear of all those emotions associated with a disappointing life. But you can take a couple of deep breaths, start slow, start with your day. Say, what can I accomplish today? I can clean my home today. I can have 3 healthy meals today. I can open the windows, let the fresh air in. I can go outside and spend a little time in my backyard or in my front yard. What is it that I can do? And you start building slowly, little by little. We live in a world where we need to earn a living. We need to work to make money to pay for bills. You know, we should want to. We should want to breathe and say, okay, I harmed myself by looking at my disappointments in a negative way. I harmed myself by putting my life in a negative perspective. Yes, I had failures, I had disappointments, people hurt me, but I put it in an unhealthy way. I defined it to myself in an unhealthy way. It would have been better to have been a positive person and realize that things happen, but I'm going to continue to be a joyful person. I'm going to continue to be a peaceful person. I'm going to continue to be a loving person. I'm going to learn from what life is teaching me and put it in a positive perspective and use that to have the life that I want. Not necessarily in career, but in your home. Is your home a pleasant experience? Are your interactions with your friends pleasant interactions? Are your interactions with your family pleasant interactions? Even work. A lot of things that I don't like about working for people, which I'm pretty sure I won't ever do again, is the immaturity. The people who stand in groups, snickering and ridiculing other people and feeling good that they can be offensive and insulting. You don't need to be that person. You don't need to involve yourself with those kind of people. That's a negative. That is draining your positive energy. That is hating a person. That is hurting a person. You're not helping yourself. If your life is centered around you hurting other people, laughing at them, ridiculing their hairstyle, their body type, their car, the way they speak, all of us have challenges, all of us have come from somewhere, and and all of us are challenged. Life beats us up, but we don't know how to deal with those disappointments, how to put it in a positive perspective, how to be realistically glad that we're alive. And because we're alive, we have potential. We can do things. We can organize our life. We can organize our home. You know, we can organize the part of our life that involves income. We can be in a healthy, loving relationship. We don't have to keep making the same mistakes and ending up with the same bad people. We make mistakes in loving relationships, in romantic relationships, because we don't have a true sense of ourselves. And we won't get that true sense of ourselves until we start thinking in a healthy, positive, realistic way. Yes, there are challenges, but it's not the end of the world. We shouldn't be detrimentalists. You know, we shouldn't be people who assume the worst. We have to have a balanced, healthy, realistic perspective, which may even involve moving from a city that doesn't offer opportunities to a city that may offer opportunities. But our worst enemy is ourselves, and we are our worst enemies with our thoughts, and with our bad thoughts, we contribute to bad emotions, and then we want to do something with that hurt. We want to do something with that pain, and drugs and alcohol and promiscuity, fornication get involved. And I'm not talking about sin and morality and God. We're harming ourselves because we're always in a place we don't want to be, and we're always in a place that isn't giving us what we want out of life. But once we start to realize who we are, and once we start to realize in healthy terms, think in healthy terms, then we can start to have the life that we want. Not in careers, not in professions, but in our personal life. Are we driving a clean, well-maintained car? Is there good, enjoyable music? Are we going to enjoy our lunch at work? Are we going to enjoy our dinner? Are we going to enjoy our breakfast? We're going to enjoy our pets. Or if we like to travel, are we going to travel? If we have hobbies, are we going to practice our hobbies and get a positive, enriching nutrition from our hobbies? It's hard, and it's going to get worse. Uh, Being a healthy person is hard under communist dictatorships. Politically, it's over for the United States of America. And we live under a harsh tyranny right now. The government exists to do the bidding of businesses. You cannot keep your car because companies want to keep selling cars, and they want government to make the policies to make people get rid of their old cars, so they have to buy new cars. There are cars that are perfectly fine, but they can't be driven because they can't pass the state inspection. But as far they're not polluting, they're not unsafe cars. That just one little glitch that will cost thousands of dollars to fix. But they don't pollute, and they're not a danger to anybody on the road. They're not a danger to the driver or the passengers. So we're under a very bad tyranny, and it's getting worse right now but staying healthy and positive. I'm just telling you, the environment is harsh. How we live in this environment is up to us. And we should maintain a positive perspective no matter where we are.